We have live team coverage with Kitty Alvarado in our satellite news center on what the president and first lady may face with their health in the coming days. But we'll begin with Nico Payne live in La Quinta at the Republican National Headquarters with what this means for the campaign. Nico.
Good evening, Olivia. Both parties have different opinions on how the president has been handling this pandemic. But one thing they both can agree on is they believe that President Trump will not be changing his view on the coronavirus. As leaders around the world react to President Trump and the First Lady testing positive for coronavirus, here in Coachella Valley, local leaders are chiming in too.
I think everybody was kind of shocked last night, but you know what? It could happen to anybody. And I feel like the president has been very cautious about where he is and what he's doing.
I wasn't that surprised because he has spurned wearing masks. At the debate, his family were offered masks. They refused. If you look at the video, his wife, his children did not have masks on. It's unfortunate, however.
Congressman Raul Ruiz and Assemblymember Chad Mays also reacting to the news, saying it's a wake-up call to us all.
I'm praying for the health and a speedy recovery for the President and the First Lady. And I also want to take this opportunity, a wake-up call, and ask every viewer and every resident and community member to please wear your mask. Please keep physically distanced of at least 6 feet or more. And please wash your hands with frequency so that we can put an end to this terrible virus.
The President of the United States is America's CEO, and anytime there's a threat to the CEO, I think it's one of those things where we all come together as a country. This is a dangerous virus, and it is no respecter of persons. So that's why public health officials have told us to wear masks, to be socially distant. If the President of the United States can be affected by this, any of us can be affected by it.
And although the president has now contracted COVID-19, a virus he has downplayed at times, both political parties feel he will not be changing his stance on the virus.
I don't think there's going to be much difference, really. Maybe a few things canceled, but I think he'll emerge in 10 days.
He is a man who does not like to admit when he's wrong. He is still refusing. It was still refusing as late as, the debate, making fun of Joe Biden for wearing a mask.
And with more on the health perspective of this breaking news, we'll send it over to Kitty Alvarado, who has more on that. Kitty.
That's right. Doctors say this is a serious diagnosis that affects everyone differently, and we just don't know enough about the disease to know what makes it mild for some and deadly for others. The President of the United States is among the more than 7 million Americans who've tested positive for COVID-19. The White House Chief of Staff says the President is in good spirits.
The President does have mild symptoms.
Then he was taken to Walter Reed Medical Center. But what are mild symptoms of the respiratory viral infection that has proven deadly for over 200,000 Americans? Michael Connors, an infection preventionist at Eisenhower Health, says the term is generic.
But typically mild symptoms are low-grade fevers, say less than 100.4 to 100.7, mild cough, body aches, no difficulty breathing.
But as the virus replicates, those mild symptoms can get severe. With coronavirus, you just don't know.
It varies quite a bit. We've had some 70-year-olds and even older who had very little or no symptoms whatsoever.
But he does fall into the higher risk category. He says his age makes him 5 times more likely to be hospitalized.
He is in an older age category and he is mildly obese. Both of those make him at higher risk for being hospitalized or dying. But most people, even with that higher risk, do recover without any major issues.
Among those who've recovered without major issues is Dr. Andrew Orden, a plastic surgeon to the stars and co-host on the TV show The Doctors.
It ain't no hoax. Trust me.
He says he had a moderate to severe case that lasted weeks. His symptoms included high fevers and body aches, but after a week, he developed a deep, persistent cough that lingered.
It's sneaky, and it's flu-like, but it's different.
He feels fortunate to have fully recovered.
I am back to 100%. I haven't let my guard down.
But his friend was not so lucky.
a dear colleague in his 60s. He just passed from COVID-19. So this hit us hard.
Both wish the president a full and speedy recovery and hope this will serve as a reminder to stay vigilant.
We're all ready for this to be over. Unfortunately, it's not, and we really need to stay on our game.
Now's not the time to drop our guard.
And now one thing both medical experts can agree on is that what's in the president's favor is that he's getting the best care and treatment possible, which includes around-the-clock monitoring. And we certainly hope that the president's symptoms remain mild, and we wish him and the First Lady a very speedy recovery. Live from the Satellite Center, Kitty Alvarado, back to you in the studio.